How'd the film look like?
Just what I thought it would after the game. You know, I thought we played really hard. I thought we did some good things. I thought we missed opportunities in key situations, and the biggest thing is, you know, we're a team that either tightens up or tries to make too much happen, gets frantic, and tries to get all of it in one play. And I think our defense, you know, offense, defense, special teams, all of that. I think, you know, we got to just keep improving. And the thing is there isn't those key situation plays unless you've made a lot of routine plays up to that point. So you just got to continue and do what you're doing to have got there in the first place. I don't really have a great deal to add to what I did after the post-game press conference, but I'll do the best I can.
Coach, does the fact that Jeff Toole being a senior and Connor just being a redshirt sophomore, does that play or have any bearing on who gets the snaps during the week?
Not really. We're just trying to see who moves the offense the best, and they've kind of been playing leapfrog over one another. One will move them good for a while, then the next one will. So we need a guy to take the position, hang on to it, and go. You know.
Is it frustrating that Jeff hasn't heard back on the 5th year of eligibility?
I don't know. I don't know what the time frames on those are.
Talk about the positives of Jeff and his game. I mean, he throwing some good yardage and stuff.
I thought he moved our offense real well. I thought he really played well. I thought did a really good job of attacking the field in the space that they gave us. You know, which we've kind of been needing, and good at distributing the ball to a lot of positions.
Have you seen replays of the hit Avery Sebastian made on Wilson that knocked him out of the game? And do you think that's have you heard from the Pac-12?
I haven't heard from the Pac-12. There were a couple hits that I had a few questions about.
What's the process on that? I mean, do you guys send them a...
You're right. There was like basically some kind of email thing, and you email, you know, any place you have questions on, positive, negative in the middle, any place you have questions on, and you send them to them, and then they, you know, they tell you what they saw. And the communication on it's really been pretty good. I've been impressed with the way the Pac-12 does it. They get back to you right away. I don't agree with everything, but you know, I've also been in situations where you know, where they won't you know, they won't step up and recognize anything that needs to be corrected. And I've been really impressed with the way that the Pac-12 is pretty forthcoming on it.
Coach, getting back to the leapfrogging thing, is it almost, do you expect that they might even leapfrog each other a few times over the next 2 weeks, or is it kind of...
I hope not. This is driving, you know, at some point we got to settle in and get some consistency in play. And you know, I think that rather than just, you know, try to guess who's hot, you know, I mean, that's madness right there.
But does it seem like, you know, it's been almost a daily thing? How do you assess it? Has it been a daily thing?
It's been more of a weekly thing.
Do you think the fact that Connor and Jeff are both pretty good friends, that hurts, you know, not wanting to really, you know, stick it to the other guy and take...
I don't think so. I think I don't think so. I think you know, initially Jeff was real conscientious. Connor was wide open, would pull the trigger, and then, you know, Jeff kind of loosened up, and then, you know, Connor's gotten reckless at times, and, you know, it's almost if you could clone half of each of them, you'd be in business.
Who's taking first team reps the next couple weeks, or have you decided that yet?
Jeff.
Okay.
O-line took a step last week?
I thought so. We don't have a whole lot of bodies out there we're playing with. I thought they played better. Thought they played together a little better. You know, and they played kind of courageously, but we need to be better with our technique, better with our hands. Up to this point, I think we've been pass it with our hands and spotty pad level. We need to just improve on it.
So if you, I mean, when you decide to give a guy the first team reps, is the hope that he holds on to that and ends up being the starter in your next game?
Yeah, no question. I mean, you know, you guys are making this quite a bit more dramatic than it is. You go out there and you roll the ball out and try to gauge who's going to move the offense the best and get the most out of the players around them, and you pump the reps in them and hope it goes up that way in the course of the game. And if it does, you keep him out there, and if it doesn't, you don't. You know.
In terms of the red zone efficiency, is it just a matter of time, or I mean, is the team developing still, or how's that?
Well, we need to get touchdowns in there. Part of it, you know, I mean, if you hit a couple guys in the face with the football, you'd think they'd catch it, you know, and you know, every day in practice. And here's the thing with catching a football that's always amazed me: it really doesn't matter how the football's propelled, you know, whether it's thrown by a fifth grader or an all-pro quarterback or a machine. I mean, it flies through the air and there's a ball in the air and either you catch it or you don't. And we typically do in practice. And then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, our fragile little receivers are going to go into the end zone and get frightened. And so then all of a sudden they can't catch the ball. That's crazy. And so, I mean, they just need to learn to be tougher. Right now, you know, fortunately for them, you didn't ask me if I think our receivers are tough. Because if you had asked me, they certainly wouldn't have gotten the answer they'd like to hear.
Are they tough?
Hell no, they're not tough.
Like across the board, there's nobody who fits that description.
Well, name one.
You seem to have a lot of good things to say about Bartoloni the last couple of weeks.
He may be tougher than the rest of them. At least last game he certainly was. He did get after it last game. I thought made some great plays, scored 2 touchdowns, and so certainly ahead of his time as a freshman.
Are they mostly mental issues then? Are you talking about these guys' stuff, or even just the team?
Yeah. How do you drop 4 balls? I mean, because if your hands weren't in the way, they would have hit you in the face. You know.
Any questions on the line for Coach?
Mike, when you're talking about the receivers not being as tough as you like in fragile, you've mentioned before about players being mentally fragile. Are you talking about mental toughness or physical toughness?
I'm talking about the toughness that allows somebody that's had a football thrown at them not hundreds of times but thousands of times in a row, where they've had a reasonably high level of success, then all of a sudden at some key situation where it's thrown at them and it would hit them in the face if their hands weren't in the way, and then they drop it. I'm talking about that kind of toughness.
In 10 minutes.
Did he hang up?
Anything else on the line?
Hey, Coach, Casey Locker with 10 tackles on Saturday night. What have you seen out of him in the first part of the season?
You lost me. First 10 tackles, first part of the season. What?
No, I'm sorry. 10 tackles on Saturday night. What have you seen out of him? You know, not just Saturday, but also the.
Yeah, I think he's physical. I think he's physical. I think he is tough. I think that. As a matter of fact, I may have him hammer on some of our receivers. Like, for example, we'll throw him a ball, and just as the ball's ready to get there, we'll have Casey Locker slaughter him. I haven't ruled that out. And and the fact it may help him because I think he needs to play on space better. But I do think, you know, it means something to him, and he plays hard and plays physical.
You know, last year with Casey, he got several personal foul hits. Some of those tough hits on receivers. Is that something you guys made sure to address before week 1?
I don't know about last year. You know, he's always been a guy that'll, you know, that's takes a lot of pride in his ability to hit somebody. I really doubt last year he was trying to get personal fouls, although I wasn't here, and we haven't had any problem this year.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, Mike, that end of meeting recording came in and cut out the end of your one answer in terms of the toughness of the receivers. You talking mentally or physically? A lack of toughness?
Both.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Oh, Mike, I think everybody's scared to ask. I hope it was nothing serious, but was there obviously pretty late today? Any particular reason why?
What's that? Oh, no, I was on a conference call.
Okay.
Anything else, Howie?
Nope.
It's only been a week since we talked last, but you talked about corpse quality last week. Has that changed at all, or do you still see that in these guys? Or?
About what?
You said your team had like a corpse-like quality, some of your players.
I didn't think we were very corpse-like on the sideline. I thought we had pretty good energy. I really did think we had a lot of energy and effort, you know, out there. I thought we played hard, and I thought that, you know, a lot of new guys haven't played together before, but I thought we did play hard. We just need to continue to develop the ability to play well with one another, you know.
Is the bye week coming at a good time for you guys in the middle of the season?
Yeah, probably. I've always thought about the middle of the season's the best time for bye weeks.
Is this a time when you guys maybe try to do a little more with recruiting than you would normally during the course of the season?
We had a big recruiting weekend this last weekend, and then yeah, we'll have a bunch of guys on the road for about 2 or 3 days. So.
I got one more, but it's not as serious. Student question for you: did you get a bobblehead, or what are you gonna do?
My wife got some that she, I guess, for herself, relatives, and probably to hang over my head anytime she feels like she needs some kind of leverage. You know, I mean, you know, if she ever needs to set one of them on a fence post and shoot it with a shotgun, she's probably got a couple.
And then, just a follow-up too. If you could have a bobblehead of anyone, who would it be?
Shoot, I don't know. Somebody gave me one of Billy Martin. I like that one because he was kind of my guy when I was coming up and first started coaching Little League baseball. I'd have to think about that. I think less about bobbleheads than you might think I do.